Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back. My name's Kim, and in this session we'll be practicing 30 minutes of gentle restorative yoga. Restorative yoga, we use many and various props in order to help support our bodies holding a posture or a position. The purpose of that is so that we can completely disengage our effort, or at least try to disengage our effort. It's a little oxymoron. Um, and in doing so, we'll be able to sort of tap in and allow our body's natural capacity to heal and recover. It's similar, if not the same, as sleeping. When we're sleeping, we're not doing anything, right? And that's when we recover and we restore our energy and our physical reserves. So it's a really sweet practice, and it's by no means easy. It's easy in the sense that we're not doing chaturangas or push-ups and crunches, but it can be more challenging mentally because we're so used to going in the world that we're in and doing. So to completely disengage and not do anything, it can be challenging and sometimes even scary for some people. So if you've never done restorative yoga, I invite you and welcome you to this practice. And with all of that said, let's begin our practice. Props. I'll be using a yoga blanket folded as such. If you don't have a yoga blanket, you can use any blanket or maybe even a towel and just roll it up and fold it to such a size. Yoga blocks, I'll be using 2 in this session. You can use extra pillows, foam roller if you have it, just anything that'll help prop up your pillows and cushions. For extra cushioning, I'll be using 2 pillows. Again, you can use blankets, towels. And in lieu of a yoga bolster, I'll be using this body pillow that I've had for years, and I've just folded it in half and it worked pretty great. So get creative with what you got. I'll also offer the option of using a wall, as you'll see in a few minutes. You can also use a bed, a chair. First posture is legs up the wall pose. So place your blanket underneath your hips or your sacrum. It's like the flat part of your spine. And then once that feels cozy, send your legs up towards the sky. You can make any adjustments on the prop. An option to take your legs up on the wall, if you have a wall available, or a bed or a chair. This will allow the posture to be completely restorative. Without the wall, the posture is a little more of a yin posture, where there's still some effort necessary to keep the legs up. Extend the arms long overhead. Try to find as much ease in the legs, starting from the feet. Neither flex nor point the feet. To allow the ankles to ease, relax. Whatever you are, ease into your posture. Softening through your breath, in and out through your nose. It helps to have a sort of anchor to come back to, whether it's your breath, whether it's a mantra or a phrase, a word. It can even be a color. And every time your mind wanders off to something else, a thought, a sound, a noise, you can always gently guide your awareness back to your anchor. Now So bend the knees and plant your heels onto the earth, hip width distance. Lift your hips up towards the sky and remove your blanket from underneath you and replace it with a block. Slide the block onto your sacrum. If it's higher than that, it'll dig into your low back and it won't be the most comfortable. You can also take the block on the middle setting. However, avoid the third setting because that could be not the most stable. And then once you have a comfortable spot with your block, extend your arms overhead, and then one leg at a time, extend forward. So arms reach overhead, legs in the opposite direction. Just finding a gentle stretch into our hips. This is full supported bridge pose. If you want something a little more gentle but still receiving the benefits of the hip stretch, you can place your bolster underneath your spine. I even went as far as placing a blanket over the block to make it even more cushiony. And reach the arms over. And I found this variation very super cozy. So again, take your time to set up your posture. Really attuning to what you need at every moment. And then once you're in your setup, relax as best as you can. Just noticing your breath in and out through your nose. Observing how your body is receiving the posture. Our hips endure a lot of tension and pressure just from our day-to-day lives, sitting, standing, walking, whichever. It's just a lot of hip flexion. And so here, just allow your body to receive the counter to our day-to-day. Plant your right heel down, left heel, arms by your side, and lift your hips, remove the block from underneath, and gently release your hips back down onto the earth. And just swivel the knees side to side, just to release the hips, get a little mobility back in. And then roll over onto one side, lift yourself up to a seat. We'll set up our next posture. Supported Upavishta Konasana or saddle pose. We're using 2 blocks and also our bolster or bolster variation. And you might also find it helpful to sit on a blanket or maybe even 2 blankets or another block or pillows. You can set your hips as high as possible depending on your legs and hip flexibility. And then extend the legs out wide as it feels comfortable, but you still feel the stretch in your inner hips. And set the blocks into this sort of incline, so one on the highest setting and the one on the medium setting, and just side to side. Place that in front of you. and then bolster will go onto that incline. And then you may want to adjust the distance of your setup. You want it as close as possible. And then inhale and exhale, fold over your setup. You can keep your forehead down, or you can lower one ear down, gaze to one direction. And you still find this challenging to reach, you can place more pillows, more blocks, make the incline a little higher, but you do want to have your head resting. And return to your anchor, your breath. With full gratitude and acceptance of where we are in our bodies, in our minds. If you lowered one ear down, switch ears. Try to keep the neck long and easy. If there's any strain, make any adjustments. Gently return your gaze, your neck neutral, back forward. And then press your hands down, lift yourself slowly, mindfully off of your props. Move your props off to the side. We'll use them for the next posture. And then just bend the knees, guide your knees back center and swivel side to side. Remove the blanket from underneath you. We'll set up for supported fish pose. We're going to use our 2 blankets again. It's going to be the same incline that we did in the previous posture. So two blocks. Place the bolster over. Yep. And then for this posture, also use my extra cushions. So I placed them on both sides of my setup. It's kind of like a little couch, and the legs will go into Baddha Konasana, or bound angle, feet to touch, and then the knees out. And we want a gentler angle, so create a little diamond shape with your legs. And then the knees plop onto the cushions, and then recline down onto your bolster block setup. Free your arms to your sides. Make any adjustments to lie comfortably. And enjoy space into your chest. Notice how your breath travels in this posture. Notice the hips, the back, the chest, the shoulders, the neck. Know that you are completely supported by your props, by the earth. The practice in restorative yoga and yin yoga is that releasing, receiving, rather than doing and giving so much. And it's so important to give ourselves these times. As much as we give, we need to receive, right? We can't give from an empty cup, as they say. We're all part of the greater good, and so receiving and taking care of yourself is taking care of the greater good. We matter because collectively, we're all just a collective of individual persons, right? That's my philosophy for this session. Gently press yourself off of your bolster setup. Close your legs, plant the heels, and swivel the hips once again, rock side to side. Next, we'll head into a supported twist. It's the same setup. So all you need to do is place one hip, doesn't matter which hip, onto the side of your bolster. It's nice to place a cushion between your legs here for more comfort. Go pulse the arms, take a breath in, and then on the exhale, twist towards your bolster and fold over your setup. Place one ear down. And if you want a little more twist and your neck permits today, you can drop your opposite ear down and gaze the opposite way of your legs. And then breathe. Notice how this feels. I love this posture because it almost feels like cuddling. Almost like you're big spooning. And I spoke a lot about receiving in restorative yoga. However, receiving is most potent when it's balanced with giving. So I like this posture because it feels like we're big spooning, like we're giving a hug. And when we cuddle, and especially when we think about something or someone we care about, our body releases oxytocin, which is a hormone. And this hormone calms us and helps us deal with stress. Turn back to your original ear if you did the full twist. Gently press yourself off of your setup. And then release the cushion if you had it between your thighs. And then we'll just switch to the other side. Rotate your opposite hip against the bolster. Set up the legs, cushion, go pulse the arms, inhale. And then exhale, twist and fold over your setup. Make any adjustments with your cushions, with your legs. Then again, if you want a little more twist up into the cervical spine, the neck, lower the opposite ear down. And again, allow yourself to be held. We breathe in and out through our nose. We are activating our parasympathetic nervous system, which is calming, relaxing. It's the opposite of the fight or flight response. So this practice, it really sort of conditions our bodies to deal with stress even before it happens. Turn your original ear back and then press your palms by your side, lift yourself off of your bolsters. Return back to center. And just enjoy in between postures. Next, we'll set up for our final resting Shavasana. You can lay down a regular Shavasana without props. I'm going to show you a variation with 2 blocks in the bolster. So place the blocks about legs width distance on the 3rd setting, bolster on top. Some people call this Stonehenge, creating a little Stonehenge with our props. Place a pillow underneath your head, maybe underneath your hips, maybe a blanket underneath your hips. I'm going to put a pillow underneath, some extra cushioning to be comfortable. And place your legs on top of your Stonehenge setup. Okay, I found mine was not the most stable, but I made adjustments to help. And then also put my blanket on top of my hips, kind of like a little weighted blanket situation. Weighted blankets are wonderful tools that can help you sleep and rest. Again, it helps stimulate the sense of being swaddled, like when you're a baby. Then once you find a place that you can completely relax, enjoy. Keeping the mind on your anchor, whether it's your breath, your word, or your person. Allow yourself to completely relax from your toes all the way to the crown of your head, relaxing the jaw, the eyes, and the backs of the eyes. Begin to find gentle movement into your toes, your fingers. And then reach the arms long overhead. Gently remove any props that are on top of you. Free your legs into your chest, rock side to side. Then roll over onto one side and gently press yourself up to a seat. Cross the legs, sit with a tall spine. And just meditate in this state of peace. Connect your hands to your heart center, thanking yourself, thanking each other. Namaste.